Is it okay for a woman to be vulnerable with a man on a first date? Before I answer that question, I'm going to explain what I mean by vulnerability. I do not mean pouring your heart out to a man, talking about your 20-hour story about how sad you are because of something that happened in your life and because of your ex-boyfriend. No. By vulnerability, I mean exposing your heart energetically, where you are fully open, you're no longer guarded, you're no longer closed off in any way, and you are simply sharing what is in your heart, what the feelings are that you are experiencing in your body, especially the feelings that you feel when the man that you're dating, that you're on a date with, is doing something. So for example, if he said something, maybe it was a joke or maybe it was just a little hint of criticism, and it caused a negative emotional response in your body, right? Maybe a little bit of sadness, maybe a little bit of fear, maybe a bit of shame, or maybe a lot of it. Do you share those feelings, or do you hold it back and stay closed off and essentially be dishonest about your emotional experience because you don't want him to think that you're too much and then run off? Now, most women, the vast majority of women, the vast majority of the time, will not say anything. They'll either not say anything, they'll either stay silent, or they will say something, but it won't be from that vulnerable place. It'll be something like, oh, you shouldn't say that, or that's not a really nice thing to say, or that's kind of hurtful. Those are all judgments. That is not vulnerable in any kind of way. And when you respond that way, when you give a man judgments, yeah, he's probably not going to respond that well. But you definitely should be vulnerable with him, even on a first date. Why? Because a man who is in his masculine, who is honorable, who's responsible, who is inspired by feminine women, he is going to be perfectly okay with you sharing those feelings. In fact, he will actually like you more. He will actually become more attracted to you, and he will become more interested in serving you, taking care of your heart. And if it's not a responsible masculine man that you're dealing with, well, guess what? You're going to get a bad reaction. And that's a good thing. Why? Because you don't want to waste your time, your very valuable time, interacting with men, dating men that can't take care of your heart, that will only end up hurting your heart, where you'll have to spend the entire relationship hiding your heart, hiding your vulnerability, because he is not capable of taking care of your feelings.